Want to have your own AI agent that works 24/7? I'll show you how to build one in Zapier in just 5 minutes. So what is an AI agent? Now think of an AI agent as your own digital assistant, which does the work for you and it never actually takes a break. Now how cool is that? So how does this work? So firstly, what it does is it observes, and what this means is it waits for a trigger. And a trigger it could be a time, an event, or new data that's been pushed out. It's able to think, it processes and analyzes information, and then most importantly, it's able to act. It's able to carry out tasks without you asking to do it for you. Now, if you think of a chatbot such as ChatGPT, this is good for summarizing information, writing emails, or just asking it questions. This is where it stops. It's not able to do the actual work for you. Now, if you look at an AI agent, it's able to connect to your apps, emails, spreadsheets, Google Docs, CRM. Literally, it can connect to over 7,000 apps. And this is the magic of Zapier, where we can create an AI agent without writing a single line of code. So before we dive in and create our first AI agent, what we need to do is go to this link here, and I'll put this link in the description, and you click on the sign up button, and I'll see you on the other side. So once you've logged in, this is the page that you will land on. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to skip taking the tour, but please feel free to go ahead and take a tour and familiarize yourself with the application. So let's now go ahead and create our first AI agent. So what I'm going to do is click on create your first agent. Okay, so now it brings me to this page over here, which is what it says is new agent. So what you've got here is you've got a number of templates that you could also use. So if I click on any one of these templates, for example, it will show you what the trigger is, what the instructions are, and so forth. And then you can just click on the use this template and then continue. For the purpose of this exercise, I'm going to be creating our custom agent from scratch. So I'm going to skip this step. So this now takes us to the configuration page of how we could actually create our AI agent. So what we have first of all is we have our untitled agent, which is the name. So let's give it a meaningful name. So in my instance, I'm going to call it the AI Daily News, because that's what I want it to do. And what we have here is we have something called a trigger and also tools. So let's talk about that in a second. But before we do, let's give it an instruction to follow. So let me just grab my instructions. I'm just going to paste it here. And what we're doing here is, what we're saying is every day fetch the latest AI news headlines from multiple sources and email them to me. And I've also declared the sources here. So you can see these are the URLs that where I want the data to be fetched from. I could add as many as I want, but for this example, I'm just going to be using these 4 over here. Then I want to be able to specify the formatting of the email. So it's going to be called the Daily AI News, and it's going to have today's date, and then it's going to have the headline of the article followed by the link. So therefore, when I receive this email, it will have the headline of the article and then followed by the link, which I could click on, and it will take me to the article itself. Let's now look at what is the trigger. A trigger is what it kicks off the whole process. It's the event that tells the agent, hey, it's time to start to work. So in our example, the trigger is going to be something like, at a certain time, send an email to this email address. After the trigger fires, the agent then goes and grabs the data it needs. So in our example, that's the latest AI news headlines from our different websites that we specified on our sources. So finally, the action is what the agent does with the actual data. So what the output should be that every day it should be sending us an email with all the latest headlines, with all the clickable links from the sources that we have specified in our instructions. So let's circle back and again, let's look at what the differences are between the chatbot and an AI agent. So the chatbot is a reactive, it waits for you to ask. So for instance, summarize today's AI news, it will reply once, and tomorrow I must ask it again. Whereas an AI agent, it is proactive, it runs automatically. If I again say every day send me an AI news, it will email me and it will repeat this on a daily basis. Let's go ahead now and add a trigger. So if I click on add a trigger, and I can see what I'm looking for is scheduled by Zapier, but you may not see this option over here. So if you go to the search bar and you just type in Zapier, and then that's what you'll see over here, scheduled by Zapier. So if I click on schedule by Zapier, now it's going to give me some options. How often do I want this to be scheduled? I could have it custom frequency, every day, every hour, every month, every week. So what we're going to be doing is we want it for every day. So I'm going to select every day. And at what time do I want this email to be sent to me? So for example, I could say, let's do it at 8 o'clock every morning. So 8 o'clock, there we go. And that's it. Now I'm going to click on the save button. Now that we've added our trigger, what we need to do next is we need to tell it how is it going to send us an email. And for that, what we need to do is go to Add Tools. So if I go to Add Tools and click on Add Tool, and you can see here, there are so many different tools that we've got. We've got Call an Agent, Upload File, Google Sheets. So it all depends on what we're actually trying to call. But in this instance, what we're doing is we're going to use Gmail. So if I click on the Gmail, and it gives me a list of different options. So we have a Find an Email, Add Label. But what we're looking for is we need to go down and Send Email. And that's what we're going to use for Zapier to send us an email on a daily basis with our latest AI news. So now you can see it's added this over here. Now what we need to do is, you may not have it configured because if it's the first time that you're using it. So if you just click over here on this little icon, and then it will give you a drop down. And on the drop down, you'll just have to connect your account. So I've already done mine over here, and the rest of the values you can leave as they are, and then just click on the save button. Let's do a quick recap. What we've done so far is in Zapier, we've given it instructions on what we want it to do. We've added a schedule that it sends us email on a daily basis, and we've configured that email by attaching our Gmail account to this. Now what we need to do is we need to go ahead and do an agent preview, meaning let's test our agent. So this brings us to this screen. And as you can see, this is our AI agent that we've just created. And what we're going to do is we're going to click on Test Agent. And now this is going to take a few minutes to run, and it's going to test to make sure that is our agent actually configured correctly and is it working. That's now been completed. So here you can see it says approve. So what it's done is if I just quickly scroll up, you can see this is the kind of format that it's going to generate for me. I can have a look at this. I can see it's sending me the email. This is the title, and these are the links of the articles. And if I'm happy with this, what I could do, I could just click on the approve button. And now it's going to generate the email and send me the email. Okay, and now that should have sent me the email. If I scroll down, what it's doing is it's just summarizing the email, and it tells me that the email has been successfully delivered. So if I now go to my inbox, and if I click on the news, and there you go. So you can see that it's emailed me the articles with all the links, which is exactly how I specified in my instructions. So yeah, this is working perfectly fine. So going back to the AI agent, now that we've tested our agent and we know that it's working because I've received the email, one thing is don't forget to turn this agent on if you're happy with it. So you should get this message that comes up. Don't forget to turn this agent on once you're finished setting up. So all you've got to do is just click on this button, and now the agent is active for you. Now that we've created our first agent, what we can do is if we go over here and we can have multiple agents and we want to see where all our agents are, just click on my agents and you can see this is the agent that we have. And this is where any other agents that you will create will be residing. Okay. Also, if there is an issue with an agent where you're trying to test it, or it's not actually sending the email, or it's not doing what it should be doing, go to all activity. And over here, this is the first place that you should go to, because this will show us whether or not that agent has actually executed the commands. So if you look at this one here, which is our AI daily news, we can see that today at this time, it actually done the test and it was complete. So again, it's showing it as a test, but if this was actually now sending me an email on a daily basis and I don't receive an email, then I should come over here and I can see what that activity looks like. Let's now look at what the pricing model looks like for Zapier. So if I click on the upgrade, and we'll come over here to the pricing plans. So what we have is, we have the free one, which is what I'm using at the moment. It includes up to 400 activities per month, 10 activities per agent run, live data sources, web browsing, and so forth. Now this is more than enough for you to play around with your AI agents, have small agents running. It shows you it's 10 activities per agent run. So each time that an email is generated to me, it's going to take up 10 activities of my 400. Okay, now if I want to start to scale and I've got multiple agents running, then maybe I should be considering about upgrading to a pro version, which is $50 a month. Okay, and you get a lot more activities. As you can see, 1,500 activities per month, and it's up to 40 activities per agent run. And also, if you really are scaling, and this is most likely for big organizations or rather than individuals, then you could actually connect with Zapier itself to understand what that pricing model may look like for you. So there you have it, guys. We created our first AI agent within 5 minutes. If you found this video useful, then please do consider giving me a like and also sharing the video, and consider subscribing. And I'll see you in the next one.